So I have a special guest here with me, and I want to say thank you to all your support, even though most of you are already family. But Ken, tell everybody how many subscribers I'm up to now.
14 subscribers!
So if you haven't already, smash that like button and make sure to subscribe. And Ken,
my auntie's YouTube!
today you're going to see sparks fly in the garage as I sand down some nails to make it flush against the desktop. Don't want to get poked as I move the thing around, and as you saw before, I hammered down those nails because I like the look of it, so I was going to keep them. And then hopefully have all the repair work done. I added, and I didn't film it, I added some plastic wood on some corners and just kind of fill out some gaps because the plastic wood that I use is paintable and stainable, so hopefully it just gives it kind of an even, cleaner look when it's all said and done. And then I am hoping to get down to sanding today so that I could have it conditioned tonight, and then I can do stain and poly tomorrow, and hopefully maybe by Wednesday, Tuesday, I'll have a desk to be working on in the house. So today in the garage you're going to see some sparks fly as I sand down some nails and get the desk prepped, ready for sanding. And then once it is sanded, I could start to add the wood conditioner and then the stain. I haven't decided how I'm going to stain it yet. Get the desk ready, and then after that will be the drawer build. Yesterday, I did not wear my safety glasses. Please don't crucify me in the comment section. I learned my lesson. Here they are. All right, so today I am going to start off sanding this. I'm going to use 100 grit sandpaper, and I think I'm just going to do one grit sandpaper instead of going through the 60, 80, 100, 120. After 100 grit, I'm going to put on some wood conditioner. That way, whatever stain I decide to use will really come out nice and even. So here goes. So for the back, I did 100 grit sandpaper and it seemed to do the trick just fine. Even took off all these little extra paint chips. What I'm finding on the side, I don't know what the difference is. It's not sanding quite as easily as the back did, so I am going to switch to an 80 grit and see if that helps clean this back up. And I'm also going to change from my orbital sander to a palm sander because it's square and it'll help me out getting in these corners. I have been sanding for what feels like an eternity, as you saw. I think it's been since Sunday and today's Tuesday. Thought I'd show you the reason why. Totally worth making sure that I get off all the previous stain or paint or whatever it was. I have no idea what was on here. Remembered to finally put on a mask because the first couple of days were a little harsh. I don't know what I was breathing in, and I do know better. So again, please don't crucify me in the comments section. I learned my lesson and I'll do better from now on. But anyway, I just want you to see just how gorgeous. It almost looks like zebra stripe, and it is totally worth all the extra work to make sure that it gets removed. I think what I'm going to do is stain it. I have a bunch of black walnut stain. I'm not sure, but it'll make it really dark. I'm not too worried about these corners right here. Trying to get all that off because the stain is so dark. I think it'll just kind of give it that aged, used and abused, distressed look that I think I'm going to end up with in the end. I'm really excited with how it's coming out though. I mean, who knows how long it's been since this thing was touched. It was in my grandpa's garage. It's likely older than me, and I see that the design's pretty simple, not as sophisticated as what we're used to now. So I think I'm done showing you all the sanding. You clearly get the gist. And then we will be right back when it's time for wood conditioner and then staining. I am so happy to report that the endless sanding has finally come to an end. I am now ready to add the wood conditioner. I'm going to go with mini wax. I've used this before and I like it. What wood conditioner does is it just makes sure that the stain comes out a bit more evenly and doesn't end up all blotchy or well, blotchy is about the only way I can describe it. So we're gonna get started on this, and then after this sets, it takes about 2 hours, I will be ready for staining. Hi guys, I am so excited to finally be here. The Eternal Sanding project is finally done and over with. It took about a week to finally get done between working my day job and then coming out here just on my breaks and being a wife and mom. I didn't get it done as quickly as I expected to or hoped to, but it's finally over. And now we are ready for staining. So what I did is sanded, I did some repair work with some plastic wood. It was used to fill in some screw holes and some seams. The plastic wood says on the thing, or on the top, that it is paintable and stainable, and I have used it. It works pretty well. I mean, it never looks perfect, but anyway. So the repairs are done, and then I gave it about 24 hours with that wood conditioner so it could really soak in to the wood. And what the wood conditioner does is it makes the same stain go on so much more even instead of blotchy like it can appear. Anyway, so I am excited to share with you that we are finally ready to stain, and then I think the desk part will be done and we'll be on to the drawer build. Everything before I start the staining. I highly recommend a pair of gloves, especially with an oil-based stain, because the stain is just really sticky and it's really hard. It doesn't wash off quite as easily. And then I am using just one of my kids' old shirts, one they don't fit or wear anymore, but anyway, I'm going to use that just to kind of rub it on in layers. And you can do a layer with this particular stain about every 2 hours. So we will just keep going until it's the color we want it to be. Alright, this beautiful desk is almost done. I am onto the poly, and I didn't film the poly part because I put it on the exact same way that I put the stain on. Just grabbed an old t-shirt and made a rag out of it and then just rubbed the poly on. Now for the top layer, I want it to shine like glass. So I put my poly on, and then I gave that 24 hours, and then I went over it with my palm sander with 320 grit, very light. I just let it graze the top. I didn't even press down, and that made it nice and even, took out some of these little bumps and divots, and then I brushed on with a little foam brush another layer of poly, very light. Gave that another 6 hours, and then did another sand with that 320 grit. And again, just to take out the bumps and the imperfections. And now I'm on to my third layer, and you will see that next.